job search can be time consuming. A candidate is supposed to customize their resume to match the job specifications. Therefore, one should create a specific custom resume for every job application which they do. That is very demanding and tiresome process if you are job hunting and carrying out mass application or just frequently applying for jobs. Using AI tools can help speed up that process. AI tools such as ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Google Notebook ML can help individuals develop their resume fast and thereby speeding up the process of job application. We are going to detail how to use these AI tools to produce the required job application resume or CVs. We will explore using ChatGPT, Google Notebook ML to create a resume for a job application. So before we move on to, or before we get into this, you have to make sure that you have a ChatGPT and or a Google Notebook ML account and you are logged in. You will have to have access to a document editor and you have to have access to the link of the job vacancy that you want to apply for. Procedure. Step number 1, you will have to create a folder labeled as the title of the job that you are applying for. For example, if you are applying for a software engineer role, then the title of your folder should be software engineer underscore the company underscore or the date. Once that folder is being created, in that folder you need to create 4 files, and the name of the files are: number 1, file number 1 is prompt, file number 2 person specification, file number 3 resume, and the 4th file career repository. Save those files. These are blank files, we know that. It's okay. Save the files. Then second step, now that you've created those files, they are blank files, we need to create the contents for those files. So open the career repository file. In this file, we are going to document all your career history, attributes, knowledge, and skills which can help you land a job. You need to write down the comprehensive, detailed past experience, skills, achievement up to date. Write down your notable achievement from college, university, attachment. Write down your career history from internship to your current job, the positions you held, your duties, your job description, what you achieved in that job, the impact, the results, the skills you gained. Detail your academic and professional qualifications. After you've done all that and you're satisfied with the results, save the file and we'll move on to the next file, which is the person specification file. Open that file. Then head to the job vacancy link. Open the job vacancy link and copy the requirements, the person specification, job description. Copy anything that is helpful in that link and paste it into the person specification. Save it. Move on to the next file, which is prompt. Open the prompt file. Here we are going to focus on prompt engineering. So we need to write down our prompt that you are going to use to put in the AI tool chat box so that we can have AI develop a resume for us. So open your prompt file and create a subtitle named personality. Under this section, we need to define the personality that we want the AI tool to assume or take. Be specific as possible. For example, I can say you're an award-winning resume writer, a career coach. You are world-class when it comes to resume development and reframing one's career history records to match or align with the job requirements without exaggerating or overinflection. You can write a paragraph or more, whatever you want there, your personality or the personality you want the AI tool to assume. And when you are done, write down another section called task. Here, you're going to write the assignment or the task. So this is the task that you are going to give to the AI tool. And at this point in time, our task is to produce a resume, but we can be more specific there. So you need to be very specific. The goal is to produce a resume that aligns with the job requirements. We also want to tell AI to use the attached job specification or person specification and career repository file. We want to tell it to be accurate and not to deviate from the information provided in the career repository document. No hallucination at all. You can specify the font type, the size, and the resume format, whatever you want. You can specify the word count, the page count, anything really, and save the document. And then step 3. In this step, we'll convert the person specification and the career repository file to PDF and upload these files to an AI tool. So open ChatGPT or Notebook ML, chat session, and attach the person specification and the career repository file. For ChatGPT and DeepSeek, ensure that the chat setting is adjusted to thinking. Now, copy the contents of the prompt file and paste it to the chat box and press enter. The out tool will begin to process your request and later display the answer or the resume. Copy the produced resume and paste the contents to the resume file. You have to review this for accuracy, logic, and whether it meets your expectations. Also, you need to format your resume to your liking, to whatever you like, make amendments, additions, and suppression, and save. And then you can convert this resume to a PDF file that you can then use for your application. I'm going to demonstrate how we can produce our resume or CV using the AI tools, ChatGPT and Google Notebook LM. These are the two AI tools that you're going to use in this instance. So, as I said before, you need to have a job that you want to apply for. In this case, I want to apply for this senior network engineer role at this company. So what I did is, as we explained previously, you need to have your folder created, and this is the folder. It has the name of the job title that I want to apply for, the company, and the date. So I open that folder. In that folder, we have got the files which we spoke about. Now, those are career repository files, person specification, and the prompts file. So what I did in this person specification file, I came here on this job post and I copied information starting from here where it's written job description up to going downwards. I copied that and I pasted it in this person specification file. And in my career repository file, it's just exactly what we explained before, which is a file that contains all your previous work experience, your achievements, anything that you think will benefit you to land a job. And then on the prompts file, this is where we do the prompt engineering. I'm going to open this prompts file so that we see a sample of a prompt or the prompts which I used, which I want to use for this demonstration. So I'll open that. So we have opened the prompts file now. As you can see on the screen, these are my prompts. I had to specify the personality, systems instructions, and then the assignment task and the requirements here. So I can move slowly down so that you can read that if you want. You can read that, and you can use this as a template, and you can always adjust as you see fit, but you can use this at least as a starting point. If you've never done this before, you can just use this, and what you can change here is the role. So which means you have to edit the row here and also edit the row here, and then everything can just stay the same. So I'm just going to scroll down slowly so that you can see my prompt, and you can produce something similar to this, and then you can copy and paste this to your favorite AI tool, and then once you press enter, it will produce a CV for you or a resume. Now, as I said, you copy and paste this into your AI tool. So the next thing is to go to ChatGPT. You're going to start with ChatGPT. In my case, I've already done this. So in ChatGPT, I attached the career repository file, and I also attached this person's specification file. And then in the chat box, I just pasted the contents of the prompts file on the chat box, and I pressed enter. After that, I got a resume or a CV. In this case, I asked for a resume. So this is the resume that I got from ChatGPT, starting from this line. As you can see, I said my name is Jen Jo, and I'm looking for an engineer role. So this is my resume here. So you can copy and paste all this into a new file, which you can then later edit. You have to review this file and make sure that the information on that file is correct, and also you can remove things that you don't want there, and you can also format the file however you want it formatted. So this is ChatGPT. The other tool that we want to demonstrate using is Notebook LM. This is a Google product. So head over to your Notebook LM tool, and once you are there, you have to create a new session. So click create new, and then it will prompt you here to upload your sources. So here, this is where you upload the career repository file, this file, and the person specification files, and whatever other file, if you feel like you need to add other file that you would want, you can drop those files here. And once you do that, I'm not going to do that here myself because I've already produced this. So what I'll do is just head over to that session which I created to produce my resume. So I attach those files, and then once you get to the chat box, you paste the contents of the prompts file into the chat session and press enter. I've done this. So this is the output that I got from the Google Notebook LM. So it produced a resume for me. So Jen Jo, network engineer, your phone number, your LinkedIn profile, and then it goes on to add other contents. So basically it produced a resume for me. So these are the contents, and remember, you can't add a table in your resume. So you need, or in your CV, because you want the ATS systems to be able to read your file. So you have to copy this again to a new file, and then once you copy this to a new file, you have to review the contents of this content. You have to review it to make sure the information is accurate. And what I like to do is to compare between what I got from ChatGPT and what I got from a Notebook LM, compare, and then sometimes I can just use maybe the resume that I got from Notebook LM, and then format it the way I would like it formatted. But there are times where I can find some information which I got from ChatGPT and then paste it to that new file which I would have created. So it's just a matter of just reviewing the documents, and then you select what you want, remove what you don't want there. Personally, I like Notebook LM better than ChatGPT when it comes to CVs and resume. But like I said, sometimes one tool can produce a CV or resume, and you find that, oh, okay, I like this from this tool, and then I like also a bit of this from the other two. So you can just basically create a new file, copy and paste things, and integrate things and mix things up, and then you produce your final output if you want that.